Ontario and New York City music station, the SFMZ. Haley Williams there. It's 8:38, cloudy 47 or 8. A special guest this morning, Dr. Szafran. You are president of SUNY Canton. You come to the college from Marietta, Georgia. Have you been up here in the Northeast prior to coming here?
Yes, I have. A lot of people are real worried that I don't know anything about the mild winters that people have up here.
Right.
But I grew up in Syracuse.
Oh, okay. All right. So snow is no big deal for you.
No.
You've seen your share over the years, and you have no problem driving in it.
No, I don't.
Okay.
And so I'm told up here that it's a little bit colder than Syracuse, but a lot less snow. So
Right.
we'll find out.
All right. Now, why SUNY Canton? Why did you choose to come here?
Well, SUNY Canton is exactly the kind of college that is really meaningful, I think, to me, and I think that is doing really important things in the community and for its students. It's a college of application. So our students don't just learn the theory of their particular disciplines, but they learn how to do things with it. They know how to apply it. And the great thing about that is that once they graduate and they get their first jobs, right, everybody knows they hit the ground running and they can add value immediately. And so this kind of applied education is something that I strongly believe in. My previous college in Georgia was a similar place. It was a place that focused on science and technology and engineering. And again, the students were well known for being able to hit the ground running.
Now, when you first came to campus for the interview process, what hit you first to make you say, this is where I want to be?
Well, it's kind of a cliche, but it's the people, right? Because if people don't pull together, if people aren't interested in going in the same direction, then you really can't accomplish very much. And it was wonderful to see so many people who were welcoming, who were ready to start moving, who saw the college's future in the same way that I did, and who were ready to rock and roll.
Now, in your time at SUNY Canton, seeing the campus, taking it in, the students, everything else, what do you see that SUNY Canton needs?
Well, I don't know that it needs anything per se, other than, maybe a little more publicity about the great things that we're doing. And of course, you can help us with that. And, we've got the right programs, we've got the right attitude, we've got the right students, we've got the right faculty, we've got the right staff, right, to be incredibly successful. We just need to maybe kick it up a notch.
Right. And
so there are a couple of programs that I'd like to see us add. So traditionally, for example, we were an agricultural and technical college. That's our roots.
Right.
Okay, but over the years, we've kind of gotten away from the agricultural area. And so the only vestige of this that's left is our program in veterinary science. And so I'm thinking we need to maybe go back a little bit and add a program in agricultural management or maybe agricultural engineering, right? A more contemporary form of agriculture that would be exactly within our roots. Similarly, we used to have a program maybe 30 years ago in hotel management, okay, and that went by the wayside. And I'm thinking hospitality management is a program that would fit perfectly well with us, and that would be really great for economic development here in the North Country. So I think it's something that we should be doing. We've got programs in engineering technology. I'd like to see us get a program in the area of mechatronics, which is a very contemporary form of engineering, okay, that integrates electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, and computer applications, because pretty much everything you see around you today is a mechatronic system. Your refrigerator is a mechatronic system because you can program some refrigerators from your iPhone.
True.
Right? And so everything is going in this direction. So having a program in mechatronics, I think, would be a good thing. Maybe a program in computer game design to take advantage of the big computer development locations in Montreal and Ottawa, and bring that into the United States and into the North Country. Criminal justice is a huge area for us. Homeland security, criminal justice, emergency management, things like that. And so I'd like to see those programs grow and become better known. And so we're doing some interesting things, I think, in that direction. And so those are just some programmatic things, but all of them are based on things we're already doing. Okay, so I think, SUNY Canton's already in the sweet spot, so it's just a matter of going from first gear into second gear, right, and moving forward a little bit faster in those directions.
Do you find that in your role today, it's a lot different than it used to be years ago? I mean, things are changing constantly. Things are evolving. Technology is evolving. What challenges do you have now that 10, 15, 20 years ago you didn't have?
Well, I think maybe today the challenge that is most important to me is that at a lot of colleges in the past, they used to have this kind of sink or swim attitude relative to their students. And so, if you watch any old movie about life at college, it always has some austere looking dean or vice president or president coming out and saying something like, look to your left, look to your right, one of you's not going to graduate. Okay, but these days we've got a very different attitude about things, and we especially have a very different attitude at SUNY Canton. We expect all of our students to graduate, and we are going to do what it takes to help them be able to do that. Now, of course, the students have got to do their part, right? They've got to do the studying, they've got to do the homework and all that. Okay, but we're going to do whatever we can in order to get as many of our students through as possible, and we're going to have, a really strong focus on retention and graduation rates. And I think that's a bit different than colleges used to do.
How are students today different than they used to be? Are they the same students?
I think they're the same. I mean, students come into college, some are really well prepared, others have got a little bit more in the way of a challenge, right, to catch up from things that maybe they should have done in high school. Some students, hit the books and study hard right from the very beginning. Others have to kind of realize that they can't spend their time hanging around with their friends all the time, right? And that, college life is a bit harder than it was in high school, and that's as it should be.
Right.
And so I don't think it's really different. All the problems that I see, all the issues that I see are all issues that I saw back when I was a student, and I hate to admit some of them I even did when I was a student.
Do you want to increase enrollment or keep it where it's at now?
We're going to increase enrollment. We're a great place, and we want more people to know about it.
Do you have enough capacity to hold students and house them and everything else now? Do you need to expand in that direction?
Well, in terms of the academic facilities, I think we've got room for expansion. In terms of housing, we definitely are pretty much full up already. And so as enrollment starts to go up, as we anticipate it will, we're looking at possibly building some additional housing on our campus. Our latest housing, Grass River Suites, are gorgeous. And we've got plans to build a similar facility as soon as the enrollment justifies it.
Now, what students are you looking to bring into the area? Do you want to bring in people from the Northeast, New York City, or other countries from around the world? What areas are you going to begin recruiting in?
Right. The answer is yes. We're going to be recruiting in lots of different ways. So, as I said before, the most important students to recruit are the ones we already have.
Right.
Okay, and so that's the retention effort. Okay, and so we're going to be able to grow just through stronger retention, even if we didn't attract a single additional outside student. Okay, but we're going to do that too.
Okay.
And so we've got a number of international initiatives with partners in the People's Republic of China, with partners in Africa. We're looking at some places in Europe. We're looking at places in Canada. Okay, as potential sources of students. We're looking at Brazil. And at my previous college, we had some successes in doing so, and I've got some of the same people working to promote this, as well as our great people here at SUNY Canton doing this. And a number of these initiatives were already underway before I got here, so that was great. And so it's just a matter of building on what was already present. So that's the international piece. But also, I think we need to recruit more statewide in terms of getting our message out to people in New York that the North Country is a great place to be, and SUNY Canton is a great place to learn because of, again, our focus on the applied and the great programs that we have that lead to jobs. Okay, these days, people want to get a job when they finish with college, and I think that that's a good thing. Okay, it makes them a little bit more focused on their education, and so so we need to get the word out more across the state. And finally, a lot of people don't know this, but SUNY Canton turns out to be the second largest offerer of degree programs online among the SUNYs in New York.
Okay.
And so we're number 2. We're going to try to be number 1. Okay, it's going to be a tough climb because number 1 is pretty big.
Right.
Okay, but we're going to give them a run for their money. And so we're going to be joining Open SUNY, which is a statewide initiative, and having a lot of our programs offered through there. And of course, online education is a really great thing if you're an adult student, if you're a military student, if you're trying to balance life and work and learning issues. And so online is a really good way of doing that. We offer very high quality courses and programs. And again, these are programs that lead to jobs and to job advancement. And so so I think those three things, well, four things actually: retention, greater knowledge across the state of what we're doing, online, and international are the four legs of our table, so to speak, where we're going to be doing a lot of growing.
Okay, what about the area besides campus did you fall in love with when you came to tour the area?
Oh, the area up here is just beautiful. And, I've got to tell you, I grew up in Syracuse, so we used to come up to the Thousand Islands now and again, and we'd go up to Ottawa, right, which I always liked. There are great restaurants up there, and, all the big museums, the Canadian, the National Gallery of Canada, the Royal Military Museum, the Canadian Mint. Used to love going up there. And I've got to be honest, I never, ever had come to Ogdensburg. Okay, despite the fact that, I grew up kind of in the area.
Right.
And so I knew absolutely nothing about it, but I was lucky that the previous president at SUNY Canton, when I was visiting, took me to a really nice restaurant in Ogdensburk. Can I mention the name?
Sure.
Yeah, the Little Italy here. And I love that place, right? The food is great. And, the wait staff and the owner is really friendly. And so went around Ogdensburg, and I saw the waterfront here, which is gorgeous, down by the Tourism Center and the Remington Art Museum, right? I've got to admit, I had no idea that Frederick Remington was from around here. He's from Canton, right? He was born in Canton. I didn't know that. I assumed he was from Denver or something because, of the Western art focus, of course, that he had. And so who knew that Ogdensburg had this national quality museum, right, of his art, had this beautiful waterfront, and so forth. I sure didn't know it. And that's why I think that hospitality management program that I was talking about will be a good thing, because I don't think a lot of people know. So Ogdensburg's fantastic. I was up in Messina last night. It's beautiful up there, right? The Canton-Potsdam area is beautiful. The foliage up here, the riverfront, the beautiful homes that many people have, right, along the river. This area is great. And that's not even starting to talk about the Adirondacks.
Yeah, you definitely have a challenging job, a lot of things to keep track of with students and on campus and off campus and online and apps and cell phones. There's a lot of things to do. And we definitely wish you the best of luck and look forward to speaking to you again very soon. Thank you for coming in today.
And if I could mention just one last thing, it's our homecoming weekend coming up.
Yes.
And we'd like to invite everybody to come. I mean, friends, family, alumni from the college, and just people from the community who want to come up to SUNY Canton and see what's going on. It's Friday evening and then all day Saturday. Lots of events, bands, food, right? It's going to be a great time. Please come by.
Okay, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
All right, it is 8:50 at SFM. Lord and team, SFM.